I got the booklet from the Bombay University and also from the Delhi University, which was very useful to me at that, to me, not only for me, to my friends also, during 2001-2000. Because at that time there was not such material available. Only the Vishakha judgment news reports and some materials were available even in the internet. So it was very useful for me. And my experience, now I feel that it is a demonstration of what Dr. Janaki and Dr. Paramita already been said. So I think they have already explained the theory. So I am just telling my experience as a demonstration of that what they have already spoke. Actually, there are three parts for my case. One, the original incident, which was I met in a public transport bus when I was returning in the late evening after a function, a cultural function in nearby town to the university. Actually, a man physically tried to molest me when I was sitting in the bus in a seat, and he ejaculated on my backside, and it was the semen was in my top. So I got upset. So I couldn't move further. So I went to the police station, which is not near, but I told the bus people to take the bus along with me to the police station. At that time, the entire passengers was not in favor of me because they are get delayed because of this incident, and a lot of things happened. But I was so particular to take me to the police station along with the harasser. After some time, there were some of my colleagues were in the bus, and they also supported me, and I went to the police station, which was not at all women friendly. They were all behaving very badly towards me because they are just like that only at that time. Then I registered the FIR and all. That too was very difficult for me to write in their language. In Malayalam, they wanted to put the specific names for this and that things. It was like altogether a torture for me, and they were very particular to get my top at that time itself. So that again became a problem for me to give the evidence. Then I got very more after the incident itself. I got very upset not to do what, and I was alone. Then I requested the policemen to come to my quarters along with my colleagues. They were supportive, and they were husband and wife. That was very favorable condition because they were all traditional Muslim people. But at that time they were very supportive, and they, along with the policemen, came to my quarters, and I handed over the top my clothes to them. But the next day the entire thing was changed because when I went to the police station, the sub-inspector of the station was not there. So after this incident, they had some discussions or something like that, and then very next day the sub-inspector came to my quarters, and he directly entered to my this drawing room and said, "You have done a very magnificent job yesterday. You caught a man, and we already booked him," and that type of thing. That also made me very strange. That the previous day I met a very sad and very unfriendly behavior from the police station, but the head of the police station is coming to my quarters and saying like this. Then he gave me a letter to me, and it was addressed to the superintendent of the Taluk police this hospital to undergo a medical examination. Then the sub-inspector told, "You have to undergo a medical examination, that you have not physically harassed or physically you have no any kind of injuries. So morning itself I went to the hospital to get examined, but the hospital people were not ready to examine. Then I requested the superintendent of the hospital, why you are not examining, then please tell what I have to do. Then he said the letter is from the police, so the police have to come with you. You are coming alone, so we are not in a position to examine. And moreover, there is no gynecologist here, so to get examined, you call some gynecologist from elsewhere and get examined. This is the position. Then again, I was on leave that day to complete all these procedures, because I already given the complaint. That too was a very big problem for me, so I have to get back all these things within 1 or 2 days. That was my headache. Then I called the police. Then he said the doctor superintendent does not know anything about this. These are the procedure. I was doing all these things like that was his argument. Then after some time, police came along with a group of policemen, and they were also talking about me, like yesterday's incident, like how it came and who is that man, that kind of thing. No, that was also very bad experience for me. I wanted to come up out of all these things. Then at last, the gynecologist from somewhere, they collected a gynecologist, and she examined me and write down that I have no physical injuries at present. Then when I came back to the quarters, and I took 2-3 days leave, not account of these, but I had some other personal commitments. So I went out of the quarters for 2-3 days. After it happened on December 29th of 99, and after came back on January 2nd to my workplace, I noticed that the entire people was so strange, behaving so strangely towards me. I was very close to all of my friends, colleagues, and I was very active with them, because I was associating with a lot of environmental and women's activities there. They were also very friendly towards me. Then I was the incident I told only to two of my friends when I left the place. And that friend was also curious why I was not there and what is happening to me and all. Then I approached one of my friends and asked what happened. Then she told that one union leader was propagating a remark to each and every table that you were cooperating with that man. After noticing the people only, you complained, and that's why you got this stain in your clothes and all. And now you compromise. That was your. That is why you were absent for last 2 days. You were with that man and that kind of things. And he was using a small piece of paper, which was a cutting from an evening daily. That news was also given by this man. In that news, my name was not written, but it's a employee of a women employee of a Calicut University. It is met a sexual this incident in a public transport. That is the news. News as such is not alarming, but using that, like, he was giving the information to each and everybody that and he has two cuttings of the same news, one in his pocket, which is very transparent, and he is showing that this is the thing I have. Then when I came, this woman officer of my friend told me that he is propagating. Then I got charged and directly went to him. Why you are giving these kind of? Because I felt as a no, if it is not with any other intentions, I should have cleared with him. No? Then he was saying that, yeah, I got the information from the police that you were cooperating. Then I went to the police station at that time itself. Then the policeman was saying that they don't know. Then who gave the report to the this press? Then he said it's our regular practice that we are giving all this news. Then I told that you are investigating a lot of cases. That news are not coming in the press. Why only this news? I'm not scared of giving this kind of news, but this news clipping is using somebody else for this giving propaganda against me. So that's it. Then he said, they said they are not part of this business. It is because of your colleagues. Those who are not in favor of you may be doing our kind of business. Then by noon, I gave a complaint on January 4th to the registrar mentioning the university, this Vishakha guidelines that to take necessary action. At that time, there was no committee in Calicut University. Then when I was given the complaint, my controlling officer was not ready to forward the complaint. She is also a woman. She told Usha, please don't go with this complaint. It will again affect you. You please cool down. These are happening every woman to every woman, and you have already been to the police station. That itself is a bad remark against you. That kind of thing. She was advising me that like. Then I said, I do not need any advice. You please, if you are ready to forward the complaint, it's okay. If you are not ready, that's also okay. I will directly give to the registrar saying that you are not ready to forward the complaint. Then she said, no, I cannot because the accused belongs to my union. So they will harass me. Then I directly went to the registrar and I rushed to the registrar's room and said, this is happening here. I cannot adjust with these conditions. I feel that it's your duty to give some space to work for me. Then he was also upset because a sudden rush to his room without any procedures. No, then he said he gave me some advice not to give the complaint. That he can talk, he understands what is happening here, and because if you are your name of the accused. He got the information and he belongs to the pro-CPM union of the university, and he is a very strong person behind all these things. So you will be get again ostracized by others. So not to give complaint is the good thing. But if you are so particular, I will accept your complaint. Then I said, I am so particular, you have to accept. Then he accepted, and the very second or third day, he himself had conducted an inquiry with a senior officer. In that inquiry also, he told me not to proceed with the complaints because he will want the person not to do further. And by that time, that union had approached the registrar that if I am going with the complaint, I have to face serious repercussions. That was given to the warning given to the registrar, not to me, and given to the warning registrar that if he is standing with me, he will also face certain repercussions. Because in Kerala, everything is politically polarized. So I was working with another union which is not at all that much political, and which was face of women friendly and environmental friendly activities. That's my concern. So I was working with them. It was not at all a typical union. That's why I was working with them. Then the entire thing changed. The registrar gave the report to the vice chancellor. Then vice chancellor ordered a shockers to me to explain me the conditions in which I got harassed in the public transport bus, and why I was late where I was gone for in the late evening to the city, and that too alone. Why I am alone in the quarters because my child and my husband was not there at that time. That was the thing. Then I was working with certain women groups there. You may be knowing Ajita. Then I told Ajita the entire incident. Then she called our phone that you will have to face certain serious problems if you are dealing the things like this. You will have at least seriously go through the incident and take at least an impartial decision, not in favor of the one accused alone. Then he holds the shock course for the time being, and at the same time this explanation or the report given by the registrar is not accepted by him, I think it may be in favor of me or partially in favor of me. That's why it was not shown to anybody. And by that time, they set up a committee saying, as per the guidelines of UGC. And the chairman of the committee was the controlling officer of the accused, and most of the staff from his left front. So I again gave a representation to the Vice Chancellor that as per the Vishakha guidelines, the committee should be like this, and it should be headed by the woman and a third party NGO. This NGO member should be there. And then he said, I have to get the Vaishali guidelines directly from the Supreme Court, or I am not. You are saying something like that. I do not know, so I have to get the clear picture of then only I can act upon that. Then then I gave again a representation that if the committee is not as per the guidelines of the Vishakha guidelines, I will not appear myself before the committee, and I am not ready to appear before various committees or persons which is not as per the guidelines. Then by that time I moved to the High Court, saying that the university is acting against the Vaishali guidelines. Then this High Court directed the university set up a committee as per the guidelines of the Vaishakha. By that time, the entire this CPM union became against me. They were acting against many. My official activities as well as personal activities are controlled by them. Even by that time my daughter was only about 9 years old. She was also got threatening calls that she will get raped and she will get killed and all this. So I was scared to stay back in the university. So I got 1 year. I applied for a leave for 1 year, and I in a way escaped from there. And I joined in a project in the Center for Development Studies in Trivandrum. And the same day I have given complaint to Women's Commission also. So Women's Commission with the CPM, they have a CPM setup, and they have separate CPM member also. So they also kept away my complaint for a long period. Yeah, State Women's Commission. But the chairman of the Women's Commission was the famous poet Sugata Kumari. I personally approached her that it's your duty to do something against in this complaint. Otherwise, I will be in great trouble. So you. Then she, in her personal interest, took the complaint, and they inquired, and they find out that there are a lot of problems happened against me in university after my giving complaint, and also in the complaint also the same. A lot of people gave evidences against the accused, and the Women's Commission recommended an immediate action against the accused. And but at that time, university took a stand that university being an autonomous body, it is not there. It is not the purview of the Women's Commission to recommend them to take an action. It was a very the autonomy. It's a very important discussion took place that whether Women's Commission is have the power to disturb the autonomy of the university. Then my opinion was that autonomy means autonomy on academic matters, not on criminal other things. Nobody has the autonomy to take action. Then after 1 year of leave, I have to join back to the university, but the situation in university is not in favor again. Even after getting this recommendation, university is not doing anything. Then I went for an open strike before the administrative block. First we had a satyagraha, along with me some friends are also there. Then I changed it to a fast. Then the 8th day of the fast, it was the government through the Justice V.R. Krishna gave an assurance that government will be taking action and direct university to take action immediately. So the ninth day of the fast, I withdrew the strike upon this assurance given by government through Justice V.R. Krishna here. By that time, I had given a complaint against the police officers. They have manipulated the FIR also. I have given, even though I have given my top, chudar top as an evidence, they have, in their case, it was put as a sari. Then, so I came to know this, sari, because the material is this and as per the record it is sari. So again it will become a problem. So I gave a complaint against the police. So the entire police of the state became against me because this woman is creating problem everywhere. In the university she is creating problem. The police she is coming. In the bus she is creating problem. This is was the picture against me. No? Then the case was transferred to the city police commissioner because I gave complaints against all of the police officers, those who have investigated. So there were a lot of re-investigations. So I have to go for every day these kind of investigations. No, almost all police officers are all gender insensitive. They will ask this and that questions because they have in mind that this woman is creating problem to the police. So they are trying to teach a lesson to me. That also I have suffered. But after some time, after my strike, I rejoined in the university and again I have gone deputation to another project like ma'am introduced me later. And in my case, Women's Commission gave the only Women's Commission. But at the same time, I had undergone several type of investigations from the police part and also in the university also. And at last they have set up a committee as per the guidelines of Vaishakha. And that committee also led by the left front. Most of the people, like 14 people were there in the committee. All 11 people were from the left CPM front and 3 from CPI. But the 3 CPI front people they have put their rejoinder in their report and they have submitted the report. And after submitting the report, university has conducted an domestic inquiry, part of the service, as part of the Kerala service rules. In that inquiry, I was called for the giving evidences, and in that also the presentation officer and the inquiry officer both from the same group. So they wanted to close this entire episode as in favor of them. So they arranged in that way. So when I was there, the presentation officer was presenting the case in a distorted way. I personally write down the terms. This is the way of saying so. I am not cooperating with this inquiry. I have doubt in mind that these people are doing this for. They have already prepared a report. Just to support that report only, these people are conducting the interview. Then they write down, the vice chancellor or registrar was not ready to accept the complaint I have given, but I have given it in by registered post, and they have completed the inquiry saying that I was not cooperating with the inquiry. When I asked for the inquiry report, after 1 year and 3 months, I got the reply that the legal advice got to the university that you are not supposed to get the report. Okay, that is fine. Then when I was working here, I applied an objection certificate for applying for Indian passport. Then that also university kept in freezer for a long time. Then again I went in person and asked the registrar that why you are not. Then we got a legal advice that if we are giving an objection certificate for applying passport, we will go abroad and ask if some inquiry, we will have to call you back, then you will claim the travelling element. So we are not ready. This is the way of thinking. This is just a few examples. And it was denied and I was not applied for the passport. So simple things, just giving you the examples, that's all. And after that, this is a university is how they deal with things. That you have to understand. Then after that, the Legislative Committee on Women and Children, Siomoto took my case, and they have conducted an extensive inquiry. All these, they called all these people related to this, even Women's Commission members. They have take evidences, and they gave a report to the government that university themselves was part of my case, and they were behaving against me. So an external agency has to conduct an inquiry. After that only I have to go back, or otherwise the atmosphere will not be favorable to work there. In that circumstance, I work now outside the university. And I gave a personal representation to the Chief Minister of Kerala to take action as per the Legislative Committee on Women and Children. But like that, many other committees or legislative committees only recommend, so they will not take any action to implement. So it's like that only. So, but things went like this. But there are some positive things happen as part of it. Students' movement of this left front, they had conducted a very long this campaign against sexual harassment and all, immediately after this thing. And many of the service organizations, trade unions are now conducting awareness against the sexual harassment, and not a very successful one, but it became their agenda to a larger extent. And also media, like Janagi's or Parmita said, in Kerala, I think it's not as much as the other national media is against. Kerala, they have certain, at least certain people are in favor of taking out all these kind of issues, unlike the national media and all. They may have some personal interest or personal experience to bring all these things out, but I think in my case also media had done a lot of favorable things which was very supportive to me. And once the leading Malayalam daily, Malayalam Manorama, was prohibited by the Vice Chancellor, saying that you are putting a lot of praise to Usha's incident. So and that became a very big case before the Press Council also. Prohibiting one newspaper in a campus by the Vice Chancellor, saying that university, the media is giving so much space to one case. These are the things I have to tell, and if anything in question, I can.